So you're an MP, you obviously really love it. You've not only abstained on a Tory whip, you have voted against the whip. Mm-hmm. You've only been an MP for 2 years. I know when you're not in the same place as your party, it's difficult. It's really difficult to either abstain or break a whip. Just talk us through what led you to breaking a whip and how hard that was.
It's really difficult because you get elected alongside a group of people and you are a team. I mean, you know as well as I do, you club together so much with your own people and you don't want to be the person who's making things awkward for your friends who, you know, put so much time and effort into you as well as you do into them. But I think sometimes, you know, for me, being an MP was not about being a kind of London voice in my constituency. It was about being a voice in my constituency in Westminster. And you have to balance off a whole host of things when you decide how you're voting. You have to balance off, obviously, there is loyalty to the party. That, to some extent, is very important. Balance off what's right by your constituents and also your own conscience, because I think you really have to be able to get up the next morning and look yourself in the eye if you voted for something that you found difficult. And so I think there were 2 occasions where I kind of couldn't do that. One of them was on the 10 o'clock curfew during COVID, where I'd had a lot of conversations and it was a really big decision because I'd, you know, voted with the government all the way through and thought overall the handling of COVID in that really difficult time had been really good. But I just couldn't see any kind of scientific evidence why that was the right thing. And there's a very special place in my heart for the hospitality industry. I got my start there and a lot of my family works in hospitality and leisure. So I was kind of in tune with some of the issues they were facing. And to me, I couldn't really see a reason why that was the right approach. So I broke ranks then and voted against, which was very strange. I mean, at that point, it was during the kind of virtual voting thing, so it wasn't as open. Yeah. But the second time was on the national insurance rise for the health and social care levy. I'm really pleased that actually it's the Conservative government that's actually finally trying to tackle this issue, because social care has been kicked down the road for decades, frankly. So I'm glad we're trying to fix it, but for me, it didn't seem like this was the optimal way to do it. So had a lot of conversations behind the scenes, you know, really trying to convince government maybe we can tweak it a little bit, try and make it better, and not raise taxes when we said we wouldn't. And ultimately, kind of on the day, I was still umming and ahhing about what do I do, and then found myself in the lobby with a lot of Labour and SNP MPs, which was really strange. You kind of feel like you're being a little bit treacherous for doing that. But at the same time, I go back to what I said a minute ago, you have to be able to look yourself in the mirror the next day and feel like you did the right thing. And I did. I woke up the next morning, and after the kind of adrenaline rush of it all and the kind of fraughtness of the day before of really trying to and ah and decide what to do, I woke up and thought, I do feel like I did the right thing. And sure, I wasn't on the winning side on this one, but certainly at least I can look myself in the eye and feel like I did the right thing by my constituents.